think school trips are incredibly important. I've been looking after them for at least 20 years, if not a little bit longer. And why? I suppose I was very lucky to go on a number of trips when I was at school myself. And they're, to be honest, some of the things that I remember most about my time in school, about some of those experiences that I had, about seeing the wider world, even if it was just Wales or the Black Country. But it does definitely broaden horizons. It also, I suppose, from a pastoral point of view, allows you to see pupils at a very different, in a very different context, and you build better relationships from that. As well as broadening your world, school trips help develop all sorts of really important skills when you're growing up, whether they're social skills, whether that's being able to cope in the world. So I've been lucky enough to take pupils to some bizarre places like Albania, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, and actually taking, it's very practical skills, but how do you travel around those countries? How do you get on with people? How, if you're stuck and lost, how do you get help? And actually those are skills that are transferable to all sorts of other situations.
It's really good to take part in activities away from the classroom because I get to learn new skills and just have a good time. Like, for example, we were doing climbing and I got to learn how to do my own harness up, which was really beneficial because it's something I've never done before.
It just makes a nice change from the school environment, but I'm still with my friends and it's more a relaxed way of spending time with people from school.
So what makes a successful school trip? I think almost just getting out of school. It clearly has to be safe, there has to be an agenda, all of those things, but I think that's taken as read. I think we as teachers are fairly used to all of those ideas, but just getting out. I'm thoroughly looking forward to running residential trips again because as good as day trips are, and I think they're incredibly important, there is something extra about a residential trip. That being away from home, coping with all those social situations, being able to pack, look after your own belongings, everything like that is incredibly important. So the moment the government said, yep, you can go ahead and book, we booked and we're taking a whole lot of pupils away this summer, again to North Wales, just getting back into the routine of being away, experiencing something together. When I take groups overseas, sometimes we can be away for a month. And we tell them, put your phones away. You're not allowed to have your phones for a month. And when we come back, they say, we're so pleased that you did that because we've spent all that time together as a group of young people. We've had all these experiences together and we've recognised them and we've benefited from them and we've learned from them, and brilliant to be away from technology while all that was taking place.
Well, obviously you get to those different locations, get some fresh air, learn different things in the world, and just enjoy it really.
I think it's quite refreshing to experience a different atmosphere. You're going into places where in a classroom just never would be possible, and creating new experiences which I think benefit you more than some of the ones in the classroom.
I'm incredibly privileged to be headmaster of this fantastic school behind me. And I think as a leader, as a school leader, it's vital to set a good example and run trips, if you think they're important, and I do, to run trips yourself. Because what it does is it encourages my colleagues to then take every opportunity to run trips, run excursions, anything that involves learning outside the classroom. Since we went into lockdown, we've been so restricted about what we can offer, and I think we are much poorer because of it. But one of the things that has really encouraged me is that the moment we've been given the go-ahead, not just my trip which I've organised, but I now know of many others who've very, very quickly said, right, we've got to get them out there because they've missed out. All the pupils have missed out over the last year, and we've got to get that back.